What's going on, guys? It's Canadian Landscaper coming at you, and I'm going to show you this 2002 sander truck of mine. Start off with showing you the bright light and the strobe. So that's pretty bright. And this is a 2002 GM C3500 HD 6.5 Detroit in it. It's hard to see in there, but it's got about 217,000 kilometers on it. We bought this truck from a feeding company. I should turn out the key so I don't lose all my battery. Anyways, so I bought this from a feed company. Before that, it was an old timber truck. It was actually the business name. From a timber company that went out of business a long time ago. They owned it, then I bought it, and we did a full body job on it. Doors, fenders, rockers, cabs, cleaned the interior because it smelled like the old animal feed company. So that's why it still has these straps. I did have them pulled off, but I had the sander off, moved a bunch of blocks, and I haven't pulled them back off again. So it's a pretty neat truck. I do like it. You know, it's old school, but it looks pretty clean and presentable. I mean, other than it's filthy right now, it needs a bath. I got the 5-yard SnowX helix on here. So originally I was only going to go with like a 2-yard. I don't need to do a pile of sanding, but it came to be that I bought this one. Also ended up getting a very good deal on it because of the circumstances. So yeah, this is, but it kind of ruined my plans for putting a 1,000-liter tote up front for liquid de-icing, because what happened is these 5 yards are about 9 feet long. This bed's 12. And the totes are 4 feet, so it kind of ruins that. So I've been kind of looking for a smaller tote. Didn't have the opportunity. I guess maybe I'll wait another year to do the liquid de-icing. But here's another thing. If you notice how I had this strapped, I think if you have the opportunity, this is one thing I really liked about how SnowX handled these tie downs with this truck. And maybe this looks a tad overkill, but I'll explain my reasoning. So like this, them going back and forth, that's going to keep it from going back and forth, right? But it doesn't keep a lot of tension downward, so that's why I put this strap up and over and through. And you know, really, when you're leaving this on here all winter long, I don't think it hurts to go the extra mile and keep it on there. If you're looking for a bit of a SnowX review, the truck isn't anything special. It's pretty old school for most people, and really, unless you're mechanically inclined, nobody's going to own something this old anyway. So we'll talk more about the modernized helix, I guess, and why it's worth more than my truck, because no point getting a brand new truck with a sander unit, really. The helix, so like these welds here that you see in here, they're pretty good, but they've got some chintzier looking ones, like right here, like there's a little tab of crap there. Up here, it's really spotty. You know, this one's not too bad, but I have seen a couple of the other ones where the sanders are kind of crap. One thing I will give a lot of credit is this space left underneath here. I think that is absolutely fantastic. It allows you fantastic abilities to wash out underneath of your sander. It allows the crap not to be there. That's something I give a lot of credit for. Back here, pretty simplified stuff. This plug factory came here, and you couldn't even plug it in, so I dropped it down, and then it leaves enough room to plug it in. Maybe not as much as I like, but it's still okay. I tell you what, this back spreader, it's okay. It's a lot heavier. It's not, you know, I get the theory behind it. I don't know if it's maybe as nice as the Western one, because the Western one, like my buddy's got a Western one, and you can pick it up yourself, and it's got hooks in there, so you can maneuver it yourself. Where this one, you gotta pick it up. You need two people. You just can't pick this up and try and put a pin in all at once. You know, as for the wiring, I've tucked the wiring back through here. In the summertime, I fill this all up with grease and I stuff it in behind the frame. You know, on the same side, we did the same thing with the straps. So this makes for a bit of a long truck. The truck itself is old school I-beam steering, so it doesn't really steer all that well. And with this actually, it doesn't make, so smaller parking lots, like if you're doing smaller parking lots, it's a little formidable. For me, it's not bad. You know, I grew up driving bigger stuff. Like last year I had my sander, just a smaller sander in the back of my regular cab long box 3/4 ton, and it was a lot handier for just getting bombing around spots for sure. But the reason I went to this is I found even with just a 6-foot sander in the back of that truck, it got pretty heavy and you could feel it wiggling side to side. So I wanted the dualies. I don't have a lot of other purpose for this truck. It's not that I won't use it, but I didn't really need it either. Like this, I bought this truck really for the intentions of running the sander. The sander is good. SnowX did a pretty good job on it. They have some slight rooms for improvement. Like we basically never run pure salt. This winter's been very wet, so the sand in here is soaked. And I do find when it's right full, I don't have to have the vibrator, but by the time you get about past halfway, you're gonna have to start running the vibrator, which is okay, but like when you get right down to the nitty gritty, it is loud. Now, it's got two bonuses, I guess, to that way. You know you're dang near empty, but it's really loud. So, you know, if you're in a place at 1 o'clock in the morning, HOA or something, it's not the nicest situation to have to be in. But I can't complain. My biggest complaint is actually that mainly the tractor that we use to load this thing doesn't have the high enough lift capacity, and it's kind of a pain to fill it up. It can be done, just takes a little longer, and that's not a problem. But yeah, so no decals on it yet. You know, we were late in the year when we built it. The truck has been running great, no problems. Has a small fuel tank. These trucks originally came with 2. The one was junk at the back. We pulled it out. We only got 1 left at the front. Fill it up with fuel more often than I like. It's not that it's bad on fuel, it's just a pain to fill it up. Like if you do the math, it all works out. But this used to be all white, and when we did the body job, we had so much time into it, and there's a paint called Del Fleet, which is a lot cheaper than base coat, clear coat. This is all just one coat, one and done. If you look up close, there's a lot of imperfections, but even from 5 feet back, it looks really stunning. And you know, we did this cheap. Like I say, my dad's a mechanic. We can do this stuff pretty cheap, and that's why I built this old truck, because more or less I kind of like these old styles. It runs, it's good. Day comes that it blows up, build another one. Not the biggest deal. But yeah, it's a long bloody truck. Doesn't turn worth a crap. The old 6.5 Detroit's kind of loud. But yeah, you know, if you're looking, I'm never gonna tell you to buy or not buy a sander. I do like the auger. I do think it leaves a fairly consistent flow. there's some benefits and drawbacks to both either the chain system or the auger system. I think they both have their place. Not necessarily one's better than the other. I do find like a fairly consistent flow with this, where a chain, it'll drop a big clump and then it drops another big clump down there. Where this seems to lay a fairly consistent flow. Now, depending on what make, like I think Westerns are pretty good. I have no experience with Bosses. They're not very popular in this area. I know they're all expensive. So anyways, guys, I don't think this video needs to be dragged on any longer, but there's my SnowX Helix. I don't, I don't hate it. I don't know if I love it the most, and that I think they've got a few areas for room and improvement. Actually, one of them being up top as well is the Western style ones, and I did see another video where the stainless steel Helixes are going to have a flip gate, where this one is bolted down, kind of a pain. If you ever get anything jammed down there, gotta unbolt it. Design wise, it's pretty sleek. So there you go, guys and girls. I hope you're all having a great winter. It's been pretty mild up this way, but I'll get into another video of the ins and outs of snow removal, contracts, and all that other fun stuff in another time. So until then, have a great rest of your weekend. This is Sunday after sanding. Have a good one. Bye.